So I lived here in Diomede practically all my life. What it offers, its resources on land and sea, is important to me and important to my family. So I work for Quyana as a tribal coordinator for our community. I have a supervisor in Nome and I have a site supervisor here. I love my work, and I love raising family here, and I love all the resources provided here. It takes skill to live here. If you want to, polar bear, skin a polar bear, or split a walrus hide to make a skin boat, or sew it, or patch it. I think the idea of isolation in Diomede has its benefits to some of the things I'm able to go forward with. Diomede offers different things, different times of the year. Wintertime, I can do my sewing, I enjoy that. Summer and fall, it's the hiking, it's big for me. It's either gathering or just hiking around Diomede. This is called an Eskimo potato. In Eskimo, we call it a utgak. And you use it, you either boil it in seal oil after you brush clean it, take the roots and the stem off, or you put it in your stews. So we have berries now, you'd be able to pick most of them more like for jam. I would say the bigger part of me that loves Diomede is family. I have family, the ones I'm raising now, the ones that I've grown, and also my friends that share my life here with me. And we all do the same common things, that most of the time takes time to finish, be it a parka or fur hats or cuspuk making. When I grew up here in the 80s, there was well over 200 people here. I think it was a very active little community, but I believe back then more people were subsistence living. The hunt was where everybody was involved. Now we're limited to some of the changes that affect the way we practice now.
This is a thrown line with a hook. You swing it and throw it up. It'll land behind the seal, if it's a seal. And then when you pull it, and you got your seal.
Now with our value of living have changed from subsistence to going to work. And knowing that jobs are limited here, and some of the jobs, we don't have here, that maybe why some of the people have left Diomede has a lot to do with also transportation, medical needs, housing needs.
So I always describe the tribal coordinator's position as they run the gamut from the janitor to the CFO to the CEO. Sometimes they're there by themselves and they're the only one that keeps the entity functioning on a day-to-day basis. You can't not go to Diomede without knowing about Sistuq. She's always been a leader there.
We grew up traditionally here, learning from our fathers, our mothers, our traditional way of life of making food, hunting, surviving out here. Frances, she's a big asset to our community here. That's why we've got a new clinic being built here. It took us almost 20 years to get this one where it's at now.
What I see in Sistuq, Frances Sistuq as she's known, she's here to serve this community. I think she recognizes that without leadership being provided from the people who have a true cultural knowledge that, to pass on from a traditional standpoint, I think she feels a responsibility. And it's not easy. She's not afraid to call it like she sees it and not hide behind and pretend that there aren't some real challenges here in Diomede for its survival. Sometimes we might be hanging on by a thread from a community standpoint, and I think she steps up and says, you know, I'm going to do my part and more than my part.
Some of the things I do in Diomede, you know, it's not all in my job description, but it is asked, you know, by the tribe or the city for me to start something, to get it going, in hopes somebody else can pick it up. So behind all this, our community now are able to meet joint between the corporation, the city, and the tribe, and they allow the tribe to umbrella some of the services in Diomede to make, you know, do requests for improvements, be it medical, be it housing, be it a project or a service. I like where I'm working at. I like the support system. I also like how Diomede is now more unified. I'm hoping there'd be more coordinators, more office workers, because they do make a big difference in Diomede. They help, if managed right, they help with the wellness and the health of our community. I'm a tribal administrator.